abused me, they cheated on me, they lied to me, they manipulated me, they warped my mind, they were in an illusion. Maybe it's because you have Stockholm Syndrome. Let's talk about narcissistic abuse. Welcome back, guys. JT here, and I hope y'all had a merry Christmas. And if you were isolated like I was, you enjoyed the company of yourself, you enjoyed your alone time, you did things you loved, and you just had a great day, and you're grateful for everything you gave to yourself. I always hope the best for people after narcissistic abuse during the holidays, because holidays, are meant to be in gatherings with family and friends, with people you love and care about. But oftentimes after these narcissistic relationships, we need to go on a healing journey, and we need to isolate ourselves. And, during the holidays, it can feel lonely. It definitely felt lonely for me last year. This year, I gave myself everything that I wanted. I bought myself gifts and had a little Christmas tree and had my own little Christmas, and it was great. And I watched all the Hunger Games. I watched every single one. I think there's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I watched movies all day. It was great. And I had a great time. And I hope you guys all did too. And even if you were with the narcissist, I hope that you were able to at least have a somewhat pleasant day. And if they did create drama or whatnot, I hope that you were able to gray rock and give them no reaction to their abuse. That is the ultimate weapon when you are still in a narcissistic relationship, is to not give them fuel, not give them supply, not give them energy. So today we're going to be talking about Stockholm Syndrome. And this has been around, I can't remember exactly when. I want to say it was the 50s or 60s when this theory was created. And I'm going to just read the Wikipedia version of what Stockholm Syndrome is, and then we're going to talk about it. So it says, Stockholm Syndrome is a proposed condition or theory that tries to explain why hostages sometimes develop a psychological bond with their captors. It is supposed to result from a rather specific set of circumstances, namely the power imbalances contained in hostage-taking, kidnapping, and abusive relationships. So if you ever noticed with Stockholm Syndrome, if you do research and see about the captors, and afterwards, they oftentimes talk about how they got PTSD from the experience. And Stockholm Syndrome isn't PTSD, but it's very closely related to. It's very closely. And essentially when someone gets taken hostage at a bank or kidnapped, the abusers psychologically, and if you think about the people that are robbing banks and stuff, narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic, the abusers end up manipulating and warping the reality of the victim. And then the victim ends up taking a liking to their captor, and they rationalize the abuse. And that's what oftentimes we all do in narcissistic relationships. That's why we stay in them, right? So, what are some signs of, every time I'm doing, this has happened 5 times. There was no fruit flies yesterday. I don't think there was any the day before, but the day before there was 2, and they just kept hitting me in the face. Anytime I have to do a video that needs to get out to people, I swear there's these little Hoover flies. That's what we're going to call them now, Hoover flies. My apartment is immaculately clean, immaculate. But then every once in a while, once a week, these little fruit flies come in when I'm doing a video that people need to see, because it is saving people. It's saving people from Satan, from the devil. Because again, these narcissists, they're demonic. They want to take everyone to hell. So as you're awakening and healing, the devil does not want that. And that's what I've come to a conclusion with these Hoover flies. Hoover flies, new species. So Stockholm Syndrome, what are some things you can expect with Stockholm Syndrome? Affection or attachment to the abuser, And guys, comment in this video if you have any of these, if not all of them. I had all of them. So Stockholm Syndrome is very, very real. You might attempt to help the abuser. Oh, they keep abusing you over and over. But as the empaths, guess what? We always want to fix and we want to heal people because we have the hero complex. As empaths, we're highly emotional and we want to help as many people as possible. So when the narcissist is abusing us, we are still trying to help them. We're still trying to help the abuser, right? And then another symptom, we rationalize the abuse. Oh yeah, it's because, what they went through in childhood. Yeah, they were molested as a kid, or their parents beat them, or they were raped, or whatever it is. Whatever terrible things happen to them, we rationalize their bad behavior for the things they do to us. I have all three of these. The next one, perceive basic dignity as kindness. So common. It is so common. So common. And then the last one, feeling powerless. How often have you felt powerless in a narcissistic abusive relationship, right? That's the power dynamic, because the narcissist, again, is in their ego and they need to be put up on the pedestal and everyone else has to be below them. So they want you to feel powerless in that they have all the control over you. It's a power dynamic. It's a power dynamic. And really what it is, everything with the Stockholm Syndrome is, it's a psychological defense mechanism when you're coping with extreme trauma. That's all it is. Similar as PTSD. And so with Stockholm Syndrome, if I listed any of those and you had any of them, which I can guarantee 99% of the people watching this had at least 1, 2, or 3 of those. With the Stockholm Syndrome, it's like we have to understand that the narcissist knows exactly what they're doing. Why the people, does an empath, and okay, I have to figure out how I want to say this because it could be looked at wrong. So I try and not go towards stigmas in society, but is an empath or a super empath most likely going to rob a bank or kidnap people? Unlikely. It's more going to be the narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic type. And if we know those types of people are going to do those types of things, just like in the narcissist relationship, Dave, I still haven't killed him. I'm going to get you, Dave. I'm going to get you. See? Devil, demons, they don't want me to say what needs to be said to save as many people as possible. Keep throwing me off topic. So with the Stockholm Syndrome, essentially narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic people are going to be the types of people that are going to kidnap, rob banks, those types of scenarios. In your relationship, you are with a narcissist. Guess what? They know exactly what they're doing. And as you can see with Stockholm Syndrome, they know exactly what they're doing. Why would a captive person rationalize their abuse? Why would the victim end up liking the abuser? Why would the victim feel powerless but still have an affection or an attachment to the abuser? It's the same thing. The Stockholm Syndrome runs deep with narcissism. So in order to heal from this, we just have to understand that recovery is gradual. Just like someone that has PTSD. It's not an overnight fix. It takes time. It takes a lot of healing, And whether you think you had Stockholm Syndrome or have Stockholm Syndrome from the narcissistic relationship, I do. It's a healing journey. It's not going to be just like you're going to flip a switch and you're going to recover instantaneously. When we develop these bonds, the trauma bond and a soul tie to a narcissist, it's so much deeper than the physical level. It's so spiritual. And if you think about all your relationships you've ever had and compare your narcissistic relationship, whether you've been in one or multiple, compare that to a normal relationship you've had. In the normal relationship you had, how easy was it to move on and to let go? And you could justify it and say, well, I wasn't like truly in love with the person or whatever it is. But if I look back at all my relationships, every single one put together wasn't even equivalent to trying to heal from a narcissistic relationship. Not even close, because it's on the spiritual level. It's beyond the physical. When you're deep in that spiritual level and they're demonic and satanic and maybe a fallen angel, it's so much more difficult to break and to heal. Because in the physical realm, it's like, yeah, we can, go to the gym and, work on ourselves and work on our health and everything here in the physical. But when we're talking about healing in the spiritual, that's a whole different ballgame. It's on a whole different plane. So that's why it becomes very, very difficult. But in the physical, we have that Stockholm Syndrome, similar to PTSD. And so we have to work through all the abuse that happened. And what I recommend to people is keep on researching. The more you research and the more you understand this disorder, the easier it's going to be to justify yourself and you making the right decision to leave. Because oftentimes I've heard this with many clients, when they get out of the narcissistic relationship, it's just, you're like so confused because you have no idea what the hell happened. There's no closure, and you're trying to figure out like how this person's mind works, which is just like a paradox. It's, opposite this, opposite that. They said this, but then acted this way, but then said they love me, but then had 3 supplies. But it's a mental fuckery. Like, excuse my language, but it's like, it's so chaotic that we're like we have like a 10,000 jigsaw puzzle in our head of the narcissistic relationship. And we're like trying to just find the corner pieces to get the thing started so we can like put the whole puzzle together and figure out exactly what happened. Because the narcissists, again, they want to keep us in confusion, because by keeping us in confusion, we can never catch on and let go. By keeping us in confusion, the mouse running through the maze and them constantly changing the halls and changing the doors. Every time you start to make it out, they change it. They change something. So you're in this game that they keep manipulating, and that's how they want to keep you running on a hamster wheel forever. And so with the Stockholm Syndrome, whether you feel you have this or not, or PTSD-like symptoms, just know that it is a gradual healing process, and they do this on purpose. They do this on purpose, and it's sad and sickening that people can be that cruel and have an agenda for you. But again, they're trying to take you to hell. They are trying to take you to hell. If you are empathic, super empathic, very highly kind, compassionate, giving, caring, you are of the light. You are of God. You're a good person. A narcissist is not a good person. And as we know, the narcissist is the opposite. The opposite. So it's a balancing of equations. So if they can take you down, they're going to do it. And that's why usually when you heal and become the best version of yourself and you're way high up there, you're full of light and energy and godliness, you're a chosen one, the narcissist isn't going to choose those people because we're already at a level that we can't be fucked with. Excuse my language. But essentially that's what it is. The narcissist is going to go for the empaths that are unawakened, that don't know about their spiritual gifts, that don't know about their abilities, that don't know about their real power. Because those ones are the ones that they're going to be able to manipulate and keep on the hamster wheel for a long time. And that's why I always recommend do your research, watch other YouTubers, watch actual psychologists, doctors talk about the disorders, covert, overt, malignant narcissists. Because what's going to happen is as you build this knowledge in your brain, it's going to help you to let go of the Stockholm Syndrome and to heal on your journey. Because when we rationalize the abuse, we're still holding on to hope that the narcissist can change. But it's never going to happen. And as we watch these videos, as you watch more, listen to doctors and PhDs that say narcissists don't change. They are incapable of changing. Even the ones that go through intensive, and they say this, intensive therapy for years, still will never ever be able to feel what empathy actually feels like. They can get cognitive empathy, which means on an intellectual level, they will know what empathy is, but they can never feel it. And if you can never feel empathy, that means you don't have guilt, and you do not have remorse. Therefore, you will continue to do bad things on other people because it doesn't affect you. And if we know that, and it's proven in science, you have to let go of the hope that the narcissist is going to change. They made their choice. If a narcissist gets everything they want, they get to keep moving from person to person to person and just taking, why would they ever change? Right? They get to manipulate and they get to feel their ego and that power. They're not going to change. So I hope you guys liked this video. Please let me know in the comments if you think or thought you had Stockholm Syndrome, if you're working through it right now, if you have other attributes of Stockholm Syndrome that you want to list that I did not mention. There are more, but I just gave you the main ones to look at. But just know that you're on a healing journey and it does take time. It's gradual. Everything in life is a gradual process, right? When you go to the gym, it's not like in a week you see results. It's months, years. You know, if you eat 500 less calories for a week, are you going to look like you lost 10 pounds of fat? No. You got to do it over and over and over. And every day when you wake up and you go through your day, regardless if you work a 9 to 5 or whatever it is, you have to spend time healing, watching videos, learning more about the abuse, learning to let go, forgiving, praying, meditating, doing all the things every single day to keep letting go. And it's repetitive. As you keep doing it more and more and you're letting go, you will slowly start to see over time that you are healing and that you are finally letting go of the narcissist. So I hope you guys had a great Christmas and I hope you guys enjoy the week. We got New Year's coming up and this is going to be your best year ever. 2024. This is your time to shine, whether you want to heal from the narcissistic abuse, let go of all the trauma, work on your codependency, work on your own traumas that you've had, get in the best shape of your life, get in your mental best shape of your life, start a business, get your financial freedom, whatever it is. If it's all of those things, this is your time to do it. The narcissistic abuse I went through made me become the best version of who I am. I would not have this channel if I did not go through it. So I challenge you guys to always look at the glass as half full, not half empty, and everything happens for you, not to you. It was a blessing. It was not a curse. You can use that and alchemize that negative trauma that you went through into a positive sense of well-being and becoming the best authentic version of yourself. So I hope you guys have a great day. Go get a workout in if you can. Eat healthy, stay safe, and enjoy the week. If you have the day off, that's awesome. Heal, keep on focusing on your isolation and your healing energy, and you will get there. I promise you that. All right, guys, take care.